Listen up, wrestling fans.
It's wonderful.
How are you doing this evening, gentlemen?
We're doing wonderful. This is Strong Honor, where we talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. My name is Tommy Stryker. Taco is here.
What up?
Joe is here.
Gentlemen.
We're here to talk about, that stuff that I was just talking about. We got the New Japan Anniversary show. The 46th Anniversary show just happened on Tuesday or Monday night, or however it worked out time-wise. It was earlier this week. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the first ever, technically, Ring of Honor Club show, Manhattan Mayhem 7.
Sir.
Over the weekend, the first Honor Club show that was through the pay site or whatever. So we'll talk about that. Definitely saw that show, and so I thought it was a landmark show, a really good show, and it'll be interesting to see if they continue that momentum or keep these B shows, these non quote unquote pay-per-view house shows, as good as this first one.
I thought it was just a good week overall for them with that event, and they're watching that event, and then the network or the Honor Club had a little flubs on it. I think my issue so far has been mostly on the cell phone as opposed to laptop.
Okay, yeah, I haven't tried a ton on the laptop yet, but we'll get into the
and then after the Ring of Honor TV was really good too, so they had really solid weekend, I thought.
Right on. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into.
I think with the talent they have, they can keep up the momentum. That's the thing, is they have a decent roster that can back them up. Yeah, the show they needed the big stars, but I think they can keep it up.
Hopefully, I mean, they went all out in that main event. That was, like I said, we'll get into that a little bit later. We got to preview the 16th anniversary pay-per-view coming up this Friday for Ring of Honor, so we'll get into that. Maybe some preview and predictions a little bit there, as well as the New Japan Cup starting this Friday as well. So a lot of stuff to talk about here. We forgot to fill out our New Japan Cup brackets, but I think we've all got a pretty educated. Maybe educated guess isn't the right phrase, but we've got some picks for maybe who is a possibility to go
some favorites
all the way in the New Japan
Cup.
He
can go all the way.
So yeah, the first round of the New Japan Cup is taking place over the next week as well. So there's going to be plenty to talk about, plenty to get into going forward here next week and going on. Right off the bat, let's talk about. I want to talk the anniversary show for New Japan first, but I think the biggest news of the week coming out of all of this was the latest Being the Elite episode, where they revealed the location for the All-In show. This is the show being put on by the Bullet Club members, Cody, the Young Bucks, etc.
It's in Nebraska?
The Elite. It's going to be in
I heard Hawaii.
Chicago. In Chicago. I mean, it's not news to anybody who's listening, probably, but
in Chicago.
In Chicago at the Sears Center.
Cool.
A lot of people were predicting that it would be in that building, a kind of a bigger arena, but not as big as like a United Center or a more downtown location. Chicago. This one's kind of on the outskirts of town, a smaller.
I love it.
Arena style thing, but it should be. Should be really cool. I'm curious to see how this thing goes. If they're gonna
best of luck.
If they're gonna fill it up. I know I'm planning on going. I took the week. I already scheduled that weekend off, hoping that it would be in Chicago. Of course, that's a quick 6-hour drive for us up here in Minneapolis. So I'm planning on trying to get tickets once they announce, of course, the tickets going on sale. But they have not announced that yet. But I'm excited for it. Already going to Chicago in May for the I can't remember if it's War of the Worlds or one of the other names or whatever, but the New Japan Ring of Honor shows that Ring of Honor is putting on in Chicago. Ring of Honor talked plenty about the All-In show on the Manhattan Mayhem show over the weekend too. With Cody coming out with Barry the Bear in the All-In T-shirt,
the drug-free bear,
right? Right, and the Flip Gordon match versus Cody being for whether Flip Gordon would be booked for the All-In show.
Oh, I would hope that Ring of Honor would be getting the All-In show on their service. I just feel like out of all the Bullet Club stuff and the saga and everything, I feel like they kind of get the short end of the stick when it comes to it. Like everything's New Japan and Cody and Omega and everything. And
the question is the thing going to be even streamed anywhere at all? It could just be a show in a building. It might not be televised.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and just judging by the social media reaction, I just don't think they're going to have that much trouble filling this place.
Which is why I think once it sells out, and it'll be interesting to see how Ring of Honor reacts to it throughout the summer too, if they continue to kind of promote it, what Ring of Honor's level of involvement is going to be. Because after all, Cody, the Young Bucks, all those guys are under contract to Ring of Honor. It's just that those guys have put up the money to book the building, so that they're promoting the show, but it's probably going to be a Ring of Honor associated show, but who knows to what level. Certainly if this thing is a success, I mean, does Cody and the Young Bucks and that part of the Bullet Club, the elite, if you will, want to promote more shows, or is that something that they just want to try this one time and maybe kind of
make a statement
and then turn the booking shows and promoting shows side of things back over to Ring of Honor? It's really interesting because, I mean, if you think about it, like it's Cody and the Young Bucks and those guys going, quote, all in. It's not unlike what Vince McMahon did with the first ever WrestleMania. He put, pretty much all of his money on the table to see if this event would work. And so it's not unsimilar to something like that. Probably not on that same level, but I mean, the first WrestleMania. It's a
big jump.
You got to take chances. You got spend money to make money. It's part of the game, and I'm glad that we're in this level of wrestling nowadays where we can see these. I don't want to say no-name guys, but they don't have major sponsorships or appearing on, random movies or shit like that. So it's awesome that they're just like, fuck it, all in. And that's the point.
Yeah, certainly not random guys, but no-name guys. They're obviously some of the biggest names on the independent scene. But yeah.
In the independent scene, that's my point. Like, we're going to fucking know who they are, but is random people out there, they might know John Cena.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But among wrestling fans that are hungry for an alternative to what WWE is, it's a number that's growing more and more and more.
And I'm glad we're at that point right now.
And as podcasts and the internet has become, with things like New Japan World and the fact that Ring of Honor has its own streaming service now, these are things that, think about like 10 years ago and even a little bit before that, maybe 12, 13 years ago, when the first ideas of wrestling companies doing these iPay-per-views, and how much of a failure it was because there were so many technical problems early on. They were really ahead of their time. The technology wasn't there at the time, and it really got a bad reputation at that time. But now that the technology is a little more accessible, and it's easier for these companies to do these quote pay-per-views, these streaming services, it's really making the world smaller. And with all the new fans having access to New Japan now, there really is an alternative to WWE, and there's a growing fan base for this independent stuff, and by independent, just even talking about Ring of Honor and New Japan, which really technically, I guess, aren't independents. I mean, they're independent of WWE, but they're big time players on the. I don't want to say big time competitors to a WWE, because they're certainly not that. Even New Japan, who's right now is the second biggest company in the world and making the second most money of any wrestling company in the world, they aren't on a competitive level with WWE. Nobody is, and I don't think that's something that wrestling fans should be looking for right now. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to go back to the quote Monday Night Wars and have that competition, that real Monday night competition. I mean, people pine for those days of Vince McMahon being challenged to change his approach, and I don't think we're going to see anything like that anytime soon.
Instead, we're getting the older style where we're seeing these guys tour around. It's so awesome to see. let's just take example Airwolf, the local guy, Minnesota, graduated from the academy. He's making his Chikara debut soon.
Sure,
that's fucking it's awesome. But we're seeing Joey Ryan kind of take a belt and take a championship. Or Ellsworth, there we go, with his new intergender championship, kind of doing the Andy Kaufman thing. But he's traveling country with this championship, defending it. And Joey Ryan with his Ironman championship too. So it's fun to be able to see these guys kind of touring in these different promotions, essentially with the championship too. What NWA is doing right now.
Sure.
It's fucking awesome to see that.
The Nick Aldis with the 8 pounds of gold or whatever, or 10 pounds of gold or whatever it is. That's something I have not checked out any of yet, any of that. And I've heard good stuff about that NWA stuff. But
I've only dabbled in a little bit of it, and I did check out that Ellsworth match he was in, and it was fun. I just had to see. I was like, all right, let's see where this fucking goes, because it was that Hollywood wrestling, I think it's called. I forget the promotion.
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
And it was cool. It was a very small, intimate environment, so that was really awesome to see something like that. But yeah, it was definitely a gimmicky, fun, just laugh at kind of match. But I just like the idea of this, the NWA championship just fucking slowly rebuild, and the story of this championship's being told with these wrestlers that's going on too. So it's a fun time we're in.
Right. It's more like getting back to what we were talking about with the independents these days, and even New Japan and Ring of Honor. It's kind of a hearkening back almost to a territorial kind of system where, you've got New Japan, you've got Ring of Honor, you've got, to a certain extent, you've got Impact, you've got Lucha Underground, which is just a TV show, but still, it's another place where you can go as a wrestling
you
character.
See who's kind of buddying up and taking sides right now.
Yeah, and then you've got your bigger independents like your PWGs and AAWs and House of Hardcore, Wrestle Circus. So yeah, it's really a thing it's not huge, but it's definitely gaining momentum and popularity because of the access on the internet, and I think with people looking for alternatives to just what WWE is feeding them, and WWE is at all-time heights for popularity as well. I mean, certainly not Attitude Era level numbers or anything, but I mean it's a different world television wise and everything else, where attention spans are everywhere else, so it kind of is what it is. We're down to what are the wrestling fans going to watch, and it's.
They can actually pick their favorites now and tour with them, like just like Sami Callihan. He's coming here to Minneapolis in a matter of weeks. It's fun to be able to see a guy like that who's going to be in a fucking VFW just tearing it up, having a big party with everyone.
A baseball bat, or I'm fucking leaving.
But and it's great to be able to see him hit up New Japan, hit up Impact, hit up Lucha Underground, and then see him be here at bar wrestling or this wrestling, or you're in fucking middle of nowhere wrestling thing. That's why it's fucking great.
Sure. And it'd be cool to see him at an all-in show. You talked about Joey Ryan, who's been all over being the elite recently, selling the idea that Hangman's cut him down, his penis isn't worth anything. And so,
I can't wait for the Battle of the Dicks.
Yeah, the Battle of the Dicks is going to be great.
Hangman's scared of his penis.
No, Hangman's got Joey Ryan beat on this one, I think. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens September 1st at All In Chicago. Okay, let's talk some New Japan. We've been teasing it quite a bit here.
His dick.
Let's talk this anniversary show, the 46th anniversary. Good show, I thought. Nothing blow away, nothing must see.
They had some setbacks because of the snow too. They had to alter some matches.
I'm talking the New Japan.
Oh, sorry.
We'll get to the Honor Club deal, but
I heard anniversary and went off.
Yeah, so we had Manhattan Mayhem, which was the weather thing. We got the New Japan, or the Ring of Honor 16th anniversary.
There's too much to keep up with
coming
now.
Up this Friday. This is the New Japan anniversary show.
Okay.
Main event. Will Ospreay versus Kazuchika Okada.
Yes.
Let's start there. Good, really great match.
Hell yeah.
I didn't think this show in its entirety was a must-see show by any means. I would put 4 stars on the Okada Will Ospreay match.
You could definitely look at the list of the matches and choose which one you're going to want to watch and be happy.
Sure. And I don't want to take anything away from this main event. I thought it was really good, but it was one of those matches where it's like you're kind of expecting Will Ospreay to go crazy, and it was kind of an Okada style match. Not that that's a bad thing, but it was worked.
Yes, it is.
It was like the story of the match is that Okada made Will Ospreay kind of work his championship main event
that's what a champion
super
does.
long match style. Not that Ospreay didn't get craziness in the match. It certainly was. That was certainly part of what happened in the match. But I thought what was really cool, the story of this match was, if you're a new fan to like a New Japan, you might not really get the story of the match because this match was all about, well, Will Ospreay really knows Okada and his offense. And vice versa, Okada really knows Will Ospreay, and so they were very well scouted and able to counter the signature offense from each other very well throughout the match, and then finally Okada, of course, getting the win at the end with the jumping tombstone pile driver and the Rainmaker at the end. But just how they got in and out of those holds throughout the match, and Ospreay teasing like his big flipping thing early in the match, where he looks like he's going to dive on somebody, does the backflip and does the pose in the middle of the ring. Well, Okada sees that coming and jumps in the ring and gets right in Ospreay's face for the next offensive series.
Yeah, look at that too, because it makes sense though that they'd be able to know each other's big spots. Absolutely. Like that, because when they did counter it, you had that awesome fucking power bomb that Ospreay delivered on Okada. That crazy fucking reversal. Like, yeah. I can't describe it. It was just fucking nuts. But it was like that's how those moments popped out. And another moment that really popped out to me too was that little exchange where Okada was like going to pretend to hit him. He's like, no, dude, you're my butt. And fucking Ospreay smacked the shit out of him. Like like that's what we needed. So
well, yeah, the first 5 minutes it was just classic holds and exchanges and like the British style and all of that, and then finally Ospreay's like, one of Okada's signature moves is they lock up and back up against the ropes, and Okada teases the big hit to the chest or slap to the face, and then just gives him the light taps on the chest and says, okay, let's go. And then he does that, and then Ospreay's like, no,
fuck that.
let's fire this thing up and get this thing going. Smacks him in the face, and that's when business picked up, as Jim Ross would say. Nice. And so, yeah, lots of great moments like that. But I thought this match left me wanting more from these. It should, though. These two. Yes, exactly. And so I thought that accomplished something there as well. And again, with another signature win from Okada. And then after the match, too, Okada offering Ospreay his hand. Of course, these two are members of the Chaos faction, something we talked about going into this match. It's an idea of this inter-faction warfare, especially with what's going on with the Bullet Club right now. It's becoming more prevalent, or becoming a more accepted idea, I guess, here in New Japan. And so him offering the handshake after the match, and then Will Ospreay embracing him, giving the big hug after the match, I thought was it was cool because it was so Will Ospreay. That's who Will Ospreay is. Okada's his big brother, basically, and he's always very thankful for everything Okada does, bringing him to New Japan, bringing him into the Chaos faction. So I just thought that was a pretty cool moment there, too. Any other thoughts from that match?
No, it was fun.
All right, let's kind of jump back to the beginning, work our way towards the end of the card. This was supposed to be Katsuya Kitamura's big 7th match in his 7-match series versus main roster members. It was supposed to be versus Manabu Nakanishi, but
he broke a needle or something in him.
It must have
a protein poke.
Getting himself a protein poke in his
Johnny Bravo.
He must have had a little injury, and he wasn't able to have the match on this card. Don't know when they're going to do this, but when I was looking at the New Japan Cup cards, he is booked in tag matches there, so we'll see if they adjust those. They certainly have not changed them on the...
Work through it, you bitch!
They haven't changed the booking on the website yet, so we'll see if he shows up on any undercard matches over the next week.
Help New Japan
in the New Japan Cup
stretch it out.
Cards.
Ice it up.
So we didn't get that, but we did get the big 10-man tag with Yuji Nagata teaming with a bunch of young lions versus Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask, Kushida, Hiroyoshi, Tenzan, and Taguchi. That team got the win. Kushida got the armbar over Red Shoe's son, Shota Umino. And the story of this match, I thought, was just the veterans beating up the young lions, Jushin Liger and Tiger Mask, just slapping the shit out of the young lions. But I thought, again, Umino is quickly becoming like my second and third favorite young lion right now. Well, I guess you could say second because what's his name who got shipped off to CMLL? He's already Kawato. He's already on excursion, so technically he's not a young lion in New Japan.
How's he doing down there? You know,
I haven't really heard a thing, and I haven't
probably getting his ass whooped.
Probably, but I don't really check out CMLL on any kind of regular basis. That's something I should maybe just pop on one of these days. But there's so much other stuff to watch. It's like I don't have time. But behind like a Kitamura, I'm really liking Umino. He's putting on some nice size, showing good fire, looks good in the ring. Had some really nice exchanges with Kushida before Kushida got the win. So I thought that was a standout part of that match. Second match from the show, Juice Robinson with a new look, some new tights.
I like
some
him.
new glasses, a very flamboyant look for Juice. He teamed up with Toa Henare and David Finlay versus Toru Yano, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hirooki Goto. I thought Henare looked good in this match. He's been putting on some nice size and is hitting hard and looking good in these matches. That team did lose to Yano, Ishii, and Goto. Goto did get the win over Henare with the boring-ass GTR.
Say your favorite finisher.
Ushi-Goroshi. But yeah, I thought Henare looked good in the loss anyway. So yeah. Sho and Yo defended the IWGP Junior Tag titles versus El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi. Now, last week all of us were wondering, why did Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi get added to this match? Well, thank you, Kevin Kelly, for explaining it to us on English commentary. Apparently, they won a non-title match on a untelevised house show, and so that's why they got added to this match, making it the three-way.
Sure, that makes sense.
A fun match, I thought, and a surprise winners with El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru getting the win. After, of course, there was much skullduggery in the match. Of course, skullduggery. It was Bushi goes to hit the Black Mist onto. Clinton Dix onto one of the Sho and Yo's. No, he actually hits it on, what the hell was it? He hits the. Do you remember what it was, Taco?
I fast forward through this one.
Okay, so
unfortunately,
well, yeah, Bushi goes to hit the mist on Sho and Yo. He hits the mist on one of the Roppongi 3K guys, but then he gets the whiskey spat in his face by Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and so Kanemaru capitalizes over Roppongi 3K to get the win. So that was the skullduggery that led to that. So I'm sure we'll get a rematch at some point. I didn't get a chance to see the post-match promo, so I'm sure Rocky had a lot to say.
I bet he's pissed.
And that, as well as Sho and Yo.
Pull that eye patch out.
I was really hoping to check those out today. I just did not have enough time. I ended up having to, I didn't watch Honor Rising until today. I didn't get a chance to get to it. So, like I said, haven't had a chance to watch that. One of the great things about the supplements to New Japan is the YouTube channel where they have the translated post-match promos and stuff. Even if you don't subscribe, it's a great way to follow and keep up with what's going on. You can see those post-match promos on their YouTube
Well, they'll
page.
do some of the in-ring promos, too, if they do it there. They just translate Suzuki's. That was fucking phenomenal.
Right. I'd like to see what Okada had to say after his match with Ospreay. So, again, sorry I didn't get a chance to, but so much to talk about this week. Then Yoshihashi versus Sonata. This one kind of came out of nowhere for me. I thought this one was about a 3.5 starer, a decent match. Sonata getting the win with the moonsault after basically putting Yoshihashi to sleep with the skull end. Again,
did Yoshihashi put us to sleep?
That was the thing, though. I thought this match held my attention. I enjoyed the match. And this was supposed to be a tag title match with Yoshihashi teaming up with Goto, but Evil suffered an orbital bone injury.
Oh, shit.
And so this happened a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago, but we neglected to talk about it here on the podcast.
You son of a bitch.
But this was supposed to be for the IWGP tag titles, but we just had a single match, and Sonata getting the win here. Nice reversals from Yoshihashi early, good near falls late. Again, an intense butterfly lock from Yoshihashi in the match, but again, Sonata getting the win here. And this leads me, talking about these two, really kind of leads into the next match, Tetsuya Naito versus Tai Chi. Tai Chi has a really bad reputation of just being an unpopular wrestler. I thought Tai Chi stood out way more than Yoshihashi or Sonata on this card. I thought Tai Chi was better. I thought he had a better connection with the crowd than both Yoshihashi or Sonata, even like as a shitty heel in the match, which he absolutely was.
Right.
But it just made that match more interesting. Not to mention, I mean, being in there with a Tetsuya Naito, one of the top stars in New Japan, doesn't hurt either.
It was surprising, though. I thought I was going to be fast-forwarding through this one.
No, this one was definitely kept my attention. Very good match. This one for me was just under a 4-star match. I put it at 3 3/4. This was the first heavyweight match for Tai Chi. Tai Chi attacks him before the bell, hits him with a big power bomb on the ramp, and that kind of became the story of the match, with Naito selling his back.
That was a brutal one.
Getting power bombed on the ramp. Tai Chi gets a close near fall after countering a Destino with a low blow. So some skullduggery in this one too. Of course, and you're going to get the skullduggery when it's of Tai Chi and fucking Taka Michinoku out there seconding him, distracting the referee. Naito gets revenge and throws the referee into Taka Michinoku on the apron and gets his own low blow on Tai Chi. And then gets the win, of course, with Destino after busting the mic stand over Tai Chi's head. Finally, somebody busts that goddamn mic stand. Just swings for the fences, really cracks him in the head with that damn microphone stand, and busts it up. He tries bending it over his knee, and it didn't quite work, which I thought was a bit funny, too.
I hope that's the end of that fucking gimmick, though. I hate him seeing it. It's just, I can't do it.
And that's the thing that gets him so much heat. Everybody fucking I think it's so funny when
fucking
he comes
cameras
out,
zoomed in. He's just poorly lip syncing.
just horseshit lip syncing.
So bad.
And Miho Abe, his valet, is just so into him. She's just it's just swooning over this. Oh, it's such a lovely singer. The fucking guy's not singing, goddammit. And so I just think it's great heat. I've always gotten a kick out of Tai Chi, so I can be the hipster. I can be the Tai Chi hipster. I liked Tai Chi before everybody else liked Tai Chi, because I think Tai Chi's really starting to get over, especially in this match and moving up to heavyweight. It'll be fun to see what he does versus fucking the former Ace Tanahashi.
He was ripping off his pants before it was cool.
I loved fucking commentary. This is first Tai Chi's first match in the heavyweight division, but his trunks are still in the junior heavyweight division. So, I love that bit from fucking Don Callis. So then, after the match, Taka Michinoku says Zack Sabre Jr. is going to make you tap out in the New Japan Cup, talking to Naito there. So another interesting first-round matchup there. Then we had the Togi Makabe versus Minoru Suzuki IWGP Intercontinental Championship match. This one disappointed me. Suzuki was great as usual, but I was really hoping for a little more out of Makabe.
Yeah.
What do you think there, Taco?
Yeah, it was a fun match. I definitely watched. I didn't fast forward through this one, but it was what you're expecting out of it.
Yeah, and it was competitive. I was just left wanting more out of.
I think
Makabe
if they were
in this
either
match.
the main event or on a bigger card, they probably would have, went harder.
But again, it's the anniversary show, semi-main event, and let's face it, it's been a couple of years since Makabe has been in a big-time match, and Makabe's a couple years older now.
That's true.
And so you're only going to get so much. But I thought Suzuki delivered. I thought Suzuki looked great, did his usual stuff, slapped the shit out of Makabe. And looked great in the match. Teased the Gotch pile driver a little too early and couldn't get it, but finally got it late in the match, which was it was a good Suzuki win.
It was a Suzuki match.
And again, anytime you got a Suzuki match for the championship, and there's no skullduggery from the Suzuki
Right.
Gun guys, we should applaud that, because, I mean, there was a long time where, especially last year's Minoru Suzuki run with that never openweight title, where that was the story on and on and on. Every time was the goddamn interference from Suzuki Gun.
Nobody cares about the never openweight title in that sense.
So, but here with the Intercontinental, it's been a different story. He's been winning the matches on his own without a bunch of skullduggery, which has been a nice, refreshing change of pace from Suzuki. And again, with the skullduggery in the Tai Chi match earlier, and the especially in the junior not as much in the Tai Chi match, but the big time whiskey bottle interference and all that in the junior
That's
tag match.
Is he growing the spike back?
Not yet, but his hair is getting weirder. Like he had kind of before he had his head shaved at Wrestle Kingdom, he had kind of like the cool flames or whatever shaved into his head. Now it's just kind of random lines.
It looks like a soccer ball almost.
Yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, he's not. Doesn't appear that he's growing the spikes back. But I kind of wish he'd go back to the flames instead of just the random ass lines.
Or a fucking checkered racing pattern on the side of it. I'm racing to whoop your ass, bitch.
Right.
Ah!
All right, so that was the New Japan Anniversary show. So while we're on the subject of New Japan, let's talk this New Japan Cup coming up, starting this Friday on the 9th. First, let's kind of go through the first round here, and then we'll kind of give our picks for who we think might win the whole thing here. Obviously, we were gonna fill out brackets. We didn't. Sorry, we suck. So maybe we can fill them out if we're smart. We'll actually fill them out before Friday and post them on our social media, and that way we can still kind of have a competition within ourselves and maybe with some listeners if you're into that kind of thing. So coming up, Friday, Juice Robinson's going to take on Yujiro Takahashi of the Bullet Club in the first round there. Probably a Juice win there. And then the main event this Friday, Michael Elgin taking on Tomohiro Ishii. Ishii, a big possible favorite to go on all the way in the tournament.
I hope Ishii eats his head off.
Yes. Second night of the tournament. This is from Saturday, I believe.
He said
3-9, 3-10. Yes. So this will be Saturday's matches. We got 2 New Japan Cup shows on this one as well. Bad Luck Fale versus Lance Archer, and then the main event, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus the newly heavyweighted Tai Chi. And of course, Tanahashi coming back off an injury. This is the first time we've seen him since the defeat from Minoru Suzuki at he didn't.
He's had a match or two.
He won at because Tanahashi lost to Switchblade. No, Tanahashi lost to Suzuki. But that was
he beat Switchblade and lost to Suzuki.
Right.
Yeah.
And he lost to Suzuki at the New Beginning show.
Yes.
That's what So we haven't seen Tanahashi since New Beginning, but that wasn't that long ago. We thought Tanahashi would be gone for much longer, so that could play into the story. But
of course it will.
But the other thing that could play into this too is Tanahashi going all the way and challenging a Suzuki for the IWGP Intercontinental, because people usually challenge for the heavyweight title, but you can challenge for whatever title you want. Juice has talked about challenging Switchblade for the U.S. title,
I like that,
if he wins. So that's a nice little swerve there. But not a lot of people picking Juice to go all the way. Third night of the tournament, 2 more opening round matches, Yoshihashi versus Kota Ibushi, and then main event, Tetsuya Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr. And then we had what we just talked about at the anniversary show with Taka Michinoku telling Naito that you're going to tap out to Zack Sabre at the in the New Japan Cup. So I
really do want Ibushi and Sabre to fight each other, though.
Right?
Yeah, that would be good. And they tend to book some upsets in in the first round of these New Japan Cup tournaments.
Well, and that I'm going to throw it out there. That's my pick, just with no knowledge.
Ibushi?
I don't watch.
Zack Sabre.
Sabre.
I like Zack Sabre winning this tournament.
Zack Sabre.
Zack Sabre.
And then finally, the last couple opening round matches, Davey Boy Smith Jr. takes on Toru Yano.
That's going to be a barn burner.
And then either that or Davey Boy Smith will just beat the shit out of Toru Yano for
which isn't a bad
couple
thing
of minutes. And even Toru Yano getting his signature upset win with a nut shot and a chair shot is a possibility there as well. And then Chucky T taking the place of Beretta. Takes on Sonata in the first round. So Sonata is a good pick to go all the way. Ishii is a good pick. Talked about Zack Sabre. Naito, of course, would be a good pick as well. Coming off the Wrestle Kingdom loss, looking for that big rematch. I like your pick, Joe, Zack Sabre. I like Kota Ibushi. That's going to be my pick. Even though he's got all the Golden Lover stuff going on, I like the idea of him going and challenging Okada. And
it adds another... it adds tension to that whole situation going on.
And I talked about it last week. What if Kota Ibushi can beat an Okada? What a story that would be, playing into the whole thing with Kenny Omega and his quest to beat Okada. And it's a story, too, that Omega isn't in this tournament, too, which raises the question, does Omega show up at this Ring of Honor 16th anniversary show stateside? Because both of those, that starts on the same night as the 16th anniversary show is the same night as the first night of this tournament. So it'll be interesting to see if that's something that's going on, if Kenny Omega is doing Ring of Honor stuff. But yeah, that's my pick, is going to be Kota Ibushi. Who are you picking, Taco?
I'm going to go with Ishii. Fuck it.
I like Ishii, too, because there's that built-in story there.
I'm always trying to root for him to win these fucking things, and this is going to be the one.
Yeah, and anytime he makes a nice long run, like in that U.S. tournament last year where he faced Kenny Omega in the finals, great match there. He's a guy who deserves a nice push, and again, talked about this inter-faction stuff that's been going on with the Bullet Club, Ospreay, and Okada in this most recent main event. What if it's Okada and Ishii? We've talked about Jay White Switchblade fucking stirring the pot, getting this inter-faction warfare going. What if it's fucking Ishii winning the New Japan Cup and finally getting his match for the IWGP Heavyweight title? And does this lead to a little rift in chaos at some point? Who knows? So
gotta move some people around eventually.
A lot of fun stories going on in New Japan. So that's your next week of New Japan. You're going to have a show pretty much every night. Like, I think
are they going to be full shows though, or are they just going to air the couple matches?
That's the thing is, I think we've got English commentary, so I think they're going to be full shows.
Jesus.
In the past, it's just been one or two matches. On New Japan World.
A lot of times, for the New Japan Cup and or for like the Best of Super Juniors coming up in a couple of months, they won't even show the full card on NJPWWorld.com. They'll just show the couple of tournament matches, which is certainly a possibility. But I'm pretty sure we're getting English commentary for these shows. So I guess we'll see. There's some interesting stuff on the undercards of these things too. With potential second round matchups and whatever. Like, just looking at this show that I got up here with Chucky T and Sonata in the main event before the tag match before the two New Japan Cup matches are Okada and Ishii versus Chase Owens and Kota Ibushi. So Okada and Ibushi getting in the ring together in that situation.
I just got a lot of CML to watch, so CML.
So there's that, yeah. I don't think I'm getting to the CMLL this week, kids. It's just not going to happen. Good luck getting to those post-match promos, too. All right, let's move on. Let's talk Ring of Honor, Manhattan Mayhem. First ever Honor Club show for Ring of Honor from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York. They had to change the card up a little bit because of some travel issues, some wrestlers not being able to make it to the building. So unfortunate there. But they delivered. I thought it was a very good show, very watchable, easily digestible. Great main event, which was the 8-man tag that what was it called? The
clusterfuck,
the Ultimate Mayhem match, which was, I thought this was kind of cool because it was like a War Games.
It was a good clusterfuck.
It was like a War Games match without the cage.
Yep. They said what 5 minutes for the first two guys, and they would incorporate someone every 2 minutes in.
Right. They start with, because it was like an 8-man tag with Cody, or not Cody was on commentary, but the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, and Marty Scurll versus the Kingdom and Shane Taylor. It was supposed to be SoCal Uncensored and Shane Taylor, but because of the travel issues, the Kingdom, it's not a conspiracy anymore. They got thrust right into the main event finally. The Kingdom teamed up with Shane Taylor and looked great in the match.
They did good, hell yeah.
But yeah, again, 2 members from each team start, 5 minutes, and then there was a coin flip which determined which team got the advantage going forward. It was indeed the Kingdom working that old War Games gimmick of the heels get the advantage as more wrestlers come out, and then you can't have a finish until everybody is out. So exactly the same rules as War Games. It was the match after the match, and Cody's talking about all this stuff on commentary. Marty Scurll is the Arn Anderson. He's got the wind. He can go all night. Stuff like that, which is why Marty Scurll started the match. Of course, I
loved how the fucking Kingdom came into this match. So like Vinny Marseglia coming out from underneath the ring and sneaking in like that, and then TK O'Ryan all fucking decked out Bullet Club gear, hiding in the crowd. Yeah, that was so fucking awesome. That's how you make yourself stick out. Like, that's what you do.
Vinny Marseglia coming out from under the ring with like 5 balloons.
He's the red balloons. Yeah, dude. Fucking, he's a maniac.
Yeah, that was great. So yeah, unique entrances from all of those guys. Just insane fucking spots in this match.
And then the whole time too, you had Cody running his mouth like, "Oh, we have a game plan. We got this going on." Yeah. They got those throwing their ways too. So yeah, man, good for them. Watch it.
Just watch it. Go out of your way. I mean, this is why you get the Honor Club is for matches like this. It delivered absolutely.
It's fucking Hangman Page, man. He went all out too for us.
Let's talk about. We kind of teased talking about the Honor Club, our experiences with it before at the beginning of the show. When I got home from, if you're new to the show, I work Saturdays, and so by the time I got home, it was already, because this thing started on the East Coast at like 6 p.m. Central Time. So by the time I got home, I got home just in time to see like the end of the main event live. Okay. So I dialed it up on my phone or whatever, and I was surprised to see the little Chromecast option. So I hit that button, and I got to watch it live on my TV.
Nice.
And so I was worried because last week when I went to go watch Ring of Honor TV, that little Chromecast button wasn't there. So that wasn't an option. So I watched Ring of Honor TV last week on the Fight TV app because I can send that one to my Chromecast. So this week today I go to sit down to watch the entirety of Manhattan Mayhem, and I go to sit down and watch it, and lo and behold, there's the Chromecast option again. Awesome! I can watch this thing on my TV. I don't have to set up an elaborate thing to plug in my laptop to the TV with an HDMI or anything like that. The old school way of watching New Japan World before I got the Chromecast or the Amazon Fire Stick. So that was how I used to watch New Japan. And you know what? There's a lot of people that still watch New Japan, and I'm sure
that's how I do it.
Ring of Honor just on the laptop or on their phone or whatever too, which is fine. But I like having that option being, especially now with New Japan being on the Fire Stick and the Chromecast. I'm used to those now. I don't want to have to hook extra stuff up.
Right.
So it was awesome that Manhattan Mayhem was available to send to my Chromecast. But then when I went to watch this week's Ring of Honor TV, that wasn't an option. I couldn't send that one to the Chromecast. So that was weird. So I went back to the Fight TV app.
Yeah, it might be just because of the different fucking rights they have when it comes to stuff like that.
I don't know. It was weird. And then the other odd thing, so like I mentioned, Saturday night, I watched the end of the main event live, and then I rewatched it again today. Get to the end of the show, the last 5 minutes of the main event got cut off. And it's like, what's happening here? That just ended. And so I go back to restart the stream or whatever and fast forward to the end. But then it starts this other video that's only 5 minutes long. That was the end of the match. I'm like, what is going on here? But luckily, I was also able to Chromecast that. So I'm happy that I was able to Chromecast some stuff. When I did watch live, it was great. Mm-hmm. It looked great in high def on my TV. So props to Ring of Honor for getting that right. And I do like that I'm able to Chromecast it, at least some of it anyway, when it's live or on demand after the fact. One thing that was slightly disappointing, but kind of understandable at this stage, was it obviously, or maybe not obviously, but the Manhattan Mayhem event wasn't available on demand right away after the show.
Okay.
So like on your WWE network, when you go to watch a show, you can watch live, or you can, if you're tuning in late, you can, select watch from the beginning. Yep. I did not see that as an option, watching live.
They'll get there.
The Manhattan Mayhem thing. And, I don't know how long it took to get it up on demand. I tried for about a half hour. I was like, this isn't probably going to be up.
I think I watched
on demand
it
for a while. So
Monday, so it was up then.
Yeah. I figured it was probably up Sunday, but I think it was.
It was because I started watching it Sunday.
And I remember I was at work and I was like, I should just check to see if it's up, and it was up, but I just didn't have a chance to watch it on Sunday. So that was good that they did get it up. Pretty much, it seemed like it was up the next day for people that wanted to watch it. So that's a good thing. But just it could improve just compared to like a WWE network getting it up, sooner anyway. So, but I was not surprised, but I enjoyed my experience with Honor Club this weekend, and I'm looking forward to 16th anniversary this coming weekend. As far as that goes,
big disclaimer: one stream at a time. They did not lock me out of my stuff, but I was had it on my phone, and I was having issues when it wasn't with the show itself. It was with the Ring of Honor TV series. There'd be times would be all like press slam would happen, or Coco Band would be like, "Oh, look at that slam, look at that slam, look at that slam." So it would repeat itself a lot of times on the same clip, like it was kept trying to catch up with itself. And I think I don't know if it's just I use iPhone.
Okay.
And I can send both TV and pay-per-view. I can send to my Apple TV, no issue. So that's interesting about the Chrome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had it on my phone. I just left it up, and that's when I moved to my laptop and started watching it that way.
Oh, they're like, you only.
I watched. Yeah, I finished watching everything, no problem. But the next day, following day, when I went to go try to log in again, it was all like, "You've been logged out." One more person might have been. I tweeted about it, so I was like, "Oh." Watch that, because it's still opening now, but down the road they might get a little bit more stricter. I know some companies out there are just like, lock your shit until you talk to them. So luckily I wasn't locked out.
All right, let's get back to this main event from the pay-per-view. This one, like I said, Matt Taven and Marty Scurll start the match. Vinny Marseglia comes out from under the ring next. Matt Jackson, when he comes out next, he comes out with crazy flips on everybody. Then TK O'Ryan comes in disguised through the crowd, as we kind of talked about there. Then Nick Jackson comes in next. The fans throw more streamers into the ring. There's like every time somebody cool comes out, the fans just keep throwing streamers into the ring, and they keep the wrestlers keep grabbing the streamers out of the trash cans and getting them involved in the match. Matt Jackson does this big top rope elbow through the table on Marseglia on the floor. So that was one of the first big spots of the match. Shane Taylor comes out next for the Kingdom guys, and then finally Hangman comes out last. Hangman Page and Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson do a big moonsault party. Finally, they even encourage Marty Scurll to hit a big top rope moonsault to the floor. So all four guys hitting big moonsaults, and Scurll, who's not known for hitting big high flying moves, hit the big moonsault, and then the moonsault to end all moonsaults. The tribute to Sabu with Hangman Page hitting the moonsault off the balcony in the awesome. Hammerstein onto everybody outside.
That's a legendary shit right there.
Yeah. And night one of Honor Club. There's your highlight reel moment. There was a little Honor Club sign up there in the balcony that he knocked over, so he
kicked it down.
Yeah, that was pretty good there too. Marcelia hits a big swanton on Paige through a table on the floor. This is off the top rope again. And then Paige hits the big shooting star Meltzer driver on the floor. Then an Indy taker on the floor. Then TK O'Ryan gets backdropped to the floor through a table. Then Nick Jackson does a top rope 450 splash to Shane Taylor. They set up Shane Taylor on a table on the floor outside, but the table buckles under Shane Taylor's robust size. And then Nick Jackson doesn't care. He's like, I'm crazy. Does the 450 through the broken table anyway. And then Hangman Page gets the win in the match. So the continued push of Hangman Page, I like that. He got a big push on Ring of Honor TV this week. Talk about that in a minute as well. A couple other notable things. I don't want to go through the whole card, but we're kind of running long here. But the Flip Gordon versus Cody match
was good.
A lot of fun.
For sure.
At least from the GIFs I was able to see.
This was Cody just being the best heel he could be.
Even during the main event, he kept reminding us.
Yeah,
he's just on it.
Yeah, Cody was very good in this match. The fans voted if Flip Gordon could win the match, he would be booked on the All-In card. This was just, again, really fun. Cody being a dick, getting Brandy involved. Brandy, does a flop early in the match, and then Cody and Brandy celebrate because the distraction leads to skullduggery, which leads to Cody getting the advantage. Late in the match, Cody hits the crossroads, but refuses to go for the cover. He goes for the big moonsault. Flip, of course, moves out of the way, hits a couple of big moves in his finisher. Cody kicks out, and then Brandy gets involved again. Cody accidentally hits Brandy with the disaster kick on the apron.
That was awesome, too.
And then
that's what that was the big piece I saw.
And then
that.
The crowd starts chanting, "You fucked up," at Cody. Flip is selling. Oh my God, you kicked your wife. Cody is selling, but then Cody hits the crossroads out of nowhere. This time pins Flip Gordon. So just the ultimate
and celebrating in the ring too, instead of checking on his wife. Like Colt kept bringing it up. He's like, check on your wife, dude.
Yeah, Barry the Bear is down there, and I love that his name is Barry Bury.
Yep,
because he's gonna bury
all the drug-free bear.
Right. But he's probably gonna bury all the great talent of Ring of Honor.
What was the deal with the kiss? Because that was something I randomly saw.
Oh yeah, well, at the beginning of the match, Cody's being a dick. He goes over and kisses Brandy at ringside, and then Barry the Bear, kiss me too. And of course, Cody obliges, gives Barry the Bear a kiss. Then they do another quick exchange in the ring. Flip Gordon gets the better of Cody. Then he blows a kiss at Barry the Bear, and this offends Cody greatly.
He stopped over there in anger.
It was so great because it was such old school typical heel stuff, but it worked so well. Just like Cody just continuing to get out of the ring and walk around outside and act exacerbated and just Flip wanting to get him in the ring and get some action going, but Cody just continuing to fucking get out of the ring and fuck around. And so it was just, and it was good. It was like,
right?
I was like into it. It was like, this.
Well, that's what I said. Even during the main event, he was just on it. Just kept rubbing on our faces like, yeah, Flip's not all in. Like, he's out.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing with even just Cody's look, his overall going blonde,
oh yeah,
unbelievably amazing choice. And then I was watching Being the Elite, and even my wife is like, "Oh my God, him with that blonde hair and that suit on, everything works right there." I'm just like, oh, it makes me happy that there's normal people out there just looking at him and go, God, what a fucking dick, and they don't know how he acts at all.
Only other thing from this anniversary, or not the anniversary, the Manhattan Mayhem show, wanted to talk about Ultimo Guerrero and Jay Lethal teaming up against Volador Jr. and Dalton Castle. To me, the story was fucking Volador Jr. and Ultimo Guerrero. I thought they looked great in the match.
Ultimo Guerrero.
Hard hitting shit. The crowd chanting Lucha Libre. Even though it should have been all about Dalton Castle and Jay Lethal, big championship match coming up this week. It was all about those guys.
Colt even brought it up on commentary. He's like, I thought these guys would be scouting each other out, but no, it's about the CMLL guys showing up.
And it was Volador getting the win over Ultimo Guerrero in the match too.
Fun match.
I thought that was a fun, nice little show. I was expecting something different, and again, CMLL. I don't expect a lot from Lucha Libre. Like, I've seen some pretty bad Lucha Libre here and there, but when these CMLL guys go to New Japan and when they showed up here,
they send the right guys.
They really performed well, and it makes me feel like a dick for not checking out CMLL. But every time I have, it's just like it's just not been my cup of tea. And there were some spots early in the match where it felt like Ultimo Guerrero might have been confused on what the American tag rules were. So, but despite that stuff early in the match, I thought those two really delivered late and looked good every time they got in the ring. So again, a lot of fun stuff there. So,
warms my heart to hear that.
Ring of Honor TV this week, really quickly. The Briscoes beat the Best Friends on their way to this their tag title match versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Motor City Machine Guns come out and attack the Briscoes.
I like that they were vicious with it too.
Getting some revenge for what the Briscoes did.
They need to
a few weeks back. So not being heels or anything, I just thought it was something that they needed to do.
They need that edge,
showing some aggression there. Hangman Page defeated Christopher Daniels, and it was a mid-card match on the show.
Fucking awesome though.
But yeah, a good match. I thought it could have went a little bit longer, but in a way, it really puts Hangman Page over the fact that he was able to defeat the former Ring of Honor champion that quickly.
Well, that's one of those things with like what we were talking about earlier. It just with the Okada Ospreay match, it just leaves that taste in your mouth. We need to be wanting more on something like that. So we know these two guys can go at it, and fucking down the road we can get something out of them too.
Yeah. And I like Page getting the win with not his rite of passage, but just that buckshot lariat that he does. Like, the win kind of came out of nowhere almost. And I liked how, they tease him going to that move early and the nice counter wrestling, Hangman moving out of the way of the best moonsault ever was really good too. So as Taco has to get up to address some issues. But yeah, I thought that was a nice win there. And then the main event from TV this week, Jay Lethal and Dalton Castle teaming up. The main event of the pay-per-view, teaming up against Punishment Martinez and Marty Scurll.
Also, I believe facing each other.
Correct. Facing each other. It's an interesting mashup here because Marty Scurll at one point said, "Hey, Punishment, when you win the Ring of Honor championship, I want my first shot." He did the same thing with Jay Lethal and Dalton Castle. Dalton, when you defeat Lethal when you defeat Dalton.
It's a good move.
I want that first shot. So Scurll putting his hat in the ring for everybody and getting a little heat with everybody, causing a spot of bother, as he likes to say. But it was Lethal and Castle getting the win. Lethal injection over Marty Scurll. Again, the skullduggery at play in this match big time, with Scurll trying to throw the powder in his opponent's face and ends up getting in Martinez's face, and then Lethal taking advantage there. I thought was a fun.
See, that would be
finish.
A great tag team: Marty Scurll and fucking Punishment Martinez. And don't change a thing. Marty Scurll's Marty Scurll. Punishment Martinez is Punishment Martinez. Like, I like those weird combos. I know that would never happen, obviously, but I think that match is going to surprise. Like putting Marty Scurll, who we know can perform, and again, I think we're coming around on Punishment Martinez. Maybe not on the gimmick, but the wrestling. You can obviously see him getting better. I think his sheer size with what he does with the kicks and the jumping out of the ring, I just think Ring of Honor is not built for that, in that sense that, like, again, they have the closer rails, they have the less room to work with, and he's a fucking huge dude.
Yeah, and being at center stage where it's that small ring area as well. They did have extra padding on one side, but still, you're right. It's like, it's scary when
like, again, if TK O'Ryan can jump over and fucking snap his shin, like imagine him landing back first on a rail or something like that. Like, he gets height too. So I think Punishment Martinez is going to get that gimmick change sooner or later. He's going to need it, and I think these promos he's been doing lately have just been really good.
I think the promos have been okay, but they've been short and sweet and to the point, which is good.
He's really growing on me. Like, he he's getting better and better, and you could tell like his body's even getting better and better.
Absolutely.
Like the dude is really tightening up.
You can tell he's putting the work in.
Body wise, mind wise, fucking ring wise, he's even getting tighter. And like I agree with Joe. I think he's getting way better on his promos. Like going to the WWE side, I look at someone like Baron Corbin. It's like I kind of want you to be more like Punishment Martinez.
He doesn't have that voice.
That voice though, but like
it sounds like death.
Yeah, that does help. That does help with the game.
Yeah, it does. Like, he's still, like younger in this, I guess. So, like, I'm fucking looking forward to this guy, see what he accomplishes.
I think, getting back to Marty Scurll, though, I think Marty Scurll might be kind of a dark horse as your possible next Ring of Honor champion. He keeps putting his hand in his hat in the ring, rather.
I like how he hits every fucking corner, too, of it.
Challenging anybody who might become a Ring of Honor champion. I want to challenge first. I want the first shot. And look at him. He's one of the most popular guys that they have. Huge pop every time Marty Scurll comes out. And how much would that play into what's going on with the Bullet Club right now with, Marty Scurll kind of being torn between Cody and Kenny Omega? What if Marty Scurll becomes the Ring of Honor champion? What kind of conflict would that cause?
Make him a true villain.
Well, and I think he's brought it up. I can't remember if it was on TV, if I saw a random video, but he's trying to he wants to make Villain Club more than just a T-shirt. I know it was with the Mick Foley thing. I just realized that.
That was going back to a couple episodes ago of being the Elite. This is again Cody trying to stir the pot and create turmoil within the Bullet Club. He planted the idea of, you're really popular. You should invite more people into your Bullet Club. You're the Villain Club, but build yourself up. And so it was Cody putting that idea into Marty's head, which it certainly could come to fruition and cause more strife within the Bullet Club. Led at this time by Cody Rhodes.
But could you imagine? I mean, I know Bullet Club kind of started off, they're kind of like a heelish faction, but if Marty Scurll were to just go around to all the fucking heels and just get all the fucking dicks into a group, it would be so bad.
All right. Let's run through. Okay, so 16th anniversary for Ring of Honor is this Friday.
Ooh.
Let's run through some quick predictions for that show. Hiromu Takahashi taking on Flip Gordon in a one-on-one singles match, which is really interesting because in the Honor Rising shows a couple of weeks back, Flip Gordon took on Hiromu and Kushida in a three-way, and Flip Gordon got the surprise win over Hiromu Takahashi in that match. So in the rematch here, one-on-one straight up, does the former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion get his revenge, or does Flip come out on top? I'm predicting Hiromu here. Predictions. Taco, who you got in this one?
I'm thinking ROH needs to keep their boy looking strong and have a Flip win here, but I like the story of Hiromu winning it and have that one-on-one and get that that grudge match going on for a third.
Joe, what do you think?
I honestly like Flip Gordon getting his big win. I think I should say big American win, because has he won on Ring of Honor television yet?
Boy, he hasn't had a big signature win, I don't think, yet. He's had a lot of great losses.
Yeah, a lot of great ones.
Give him
even thinking
win.
to Cody. But so I'm going to go Flip just for the fact that he needs that big win at a big show, Ring of Honor show.
Punishment Martinez, we were just talking about, versus Marty Scurll. Boy, this is a tough pick for me. I'm going to pick Scurll just because, like I said, I think he's kind of in line to possibly become the next Ring of Honor champion, and this would be a big signature win on a push for him. Although I can see doing big stuff with Punishment too, but my pick is going to be Scurll on this one. Taco, who you got?
Predictions.
I'm on Scurll on this one too. He's just higher up the charts.
Joe?
I think it's pronounced squirrel. Pronounce it? But yeah, I got Marty Scurll just because, again, Punishment's working on it, and this will be a big match for him. But Marty Scurll, like you said, he's in line. They're planting the seeds in our head, the idea of putting the heavyweight championship on him.
The Hung Bucks, Hangman Page and the Young Bucks defend the Ring of Honor six-man championships versus SoCal Uncensored, Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian, and Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels.
Sidebar real quick. I do like that during that show they did, they had I don't know if it was live at all, but they had a little intermission between old Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
But how about this match here? What's the
predictions? I'm going with SoCal. We gotta get as much as I want those them to keep the titles, keep them established a little bit. They've done enough with them. There's turmoil in Bullet Club right now, so let's figure that shit out.
Yeah, it's interesting because you got with Hangman kind of taking Cody's side, and then you got the Bucks that are going to be taking on the Golden Lovers soon here. It's a strong style evolved, but the Bucks have been certainly more on the Golden Lovers side here. With it'll be interesting, if they take these 6-man tags off of them to see where this Bullet Club rift goes from there. Joe, what do you got?
Predictions.
I'm actually thinking with Taco, same thing, SoCal Uncensored, because again of Adam Page, but not even just for the turmoil factor, but just for the fact that he is kind of establishing himself as more of a singles wrestler. He can handle himself. He could be in line, for Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title shot sooner or later. So
even
I think it
adds
it adds to both stories, him separating himself as more of a contender, and also to the turmoil of the Bullet Club losing the titles.
I think the fans in Las Vegas and watching the Honor Club will win because this will probably be a good one. A hell of a match. But I'm with you guys. I think SoCal Uncensored here is going to take those titles off, and so the Bullet Club rifting can continue.
While we're on fucking Scorpio Sky and Shibata, dude.
Yes.
We should talk about them being coaches in the LA dojo. That's fucking phenomenal. I'm glad that he's able... Shibata's to be able to do something in the ring still, whether it's train the future or help a guy out.
Yeah, I thought that was really good news. Sad that I'm still sad I don't get to see great Shibata matches, but it's cool that they've got him something to do, training young lions.
This could be baby steps too, until see how he acts.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Years down the road, you work out enough. Know, if you feel good and you test out well, Daniel Bryan style, he'll figure it out.
But I love that that New Japan's got that California dojo back open, and Shibata is a great coach and a great choice for that, as well as Scorpio Sky. So Scorpio Sky, even though he's brand new to Ring of Honor, he's a longtime vet of the indie scene, and a good pick, I think, for that. For the dojo. Getting back to the picks, the Motor City Machine Guns defending the tag titles versus the Briscoes. It kind of feels like a Briscoes win here. That's going to be my pick. Joe, who you got in this one?
I love those Motor City Machine Guns, and with that aggressive attack at the end, I think it's it could be a surprising match between these two if it gets super aggressive, especially with the Briscoes. So I'm going Motor City Machine Guns.
Taco, who you got?
Yeah, I really want to go with the Motor City Machine Guns on this one to get a surprise victory out of everyone and just fucking anger the Briscoes even more.
Cody versus Matt Taven for the Ring of Honor. At least I don't know if it's actually on the line, but Cody has vowed to get the ring back. I imagine.
I've been on commentary. He's like, I should just walk down to the ring and steal it right now, but I won't. I don't need it right now.
It's on loan. I'll be getting it back at the 16th anniversary. I imagine Barry the Bear will be involved, as well as Brandy and all of those fun shenanigans. But an interesting little heel-on-heel dynamic here that I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed the build up to this match. Taven's promos I thought were good going into it too. And I think this is fun. And I think this is a spot where Cody can get some momentum with a win here, getting his ring back in a match where it doesn't really matter that much. It doesn't really bury anybody. And he can do it with shenanigans with versus a guy like Taven, who certainly could have the Kingdom guys at play as well too. But again, I think a Cody win here is important to keep his momentum up, even though he did just win versus Flip Gordon. But I don't want to see a Cody getting a win versus a Kenny Omega at Supercard of Honor. So let's build up Cody with some signature wins and then have him build up to the big loss to a Kenny Omega, because I do not want to see Cody beat a Kenny Omega. What is your prediction there, Taco?
Yeah, Cody's got to get his ring back. I think the Kingdom's already scared of that ring. It's jinxed.
Well, and I think we get the old-fashioned, there's some skullduggery over here, there's some skullduggery over here. All right, everybody get the fuck out of here.
Right to the face.
Old-fashioned.
But just kick everybody out. Brandy, the Bear, the Kingdom guys that'll be out there.
The Enforcer.
And but Cody will still somehow, like, in the shittiest way, get the win over Matt Taven.
Of course he will. All right, then finally the main event for the Ring of Honor Championship, Jay Lethal versus Dalton Castle. I'm just not feeling Lethal here. Dalton Castle
sucks too.
He's a new champion. Still just won the championship at Final Battle.
Mm-hmm.
I like Lethal as champion, but it just doesn't feel like it's that moment right now.
I think when he wins it back, it's gonna like you're feeling. It's gonna be a big signature win for Lethal at the stage of his career.
Right, and again, early in Dalton Castle's run, this just feels like a match to continue to build up his run. I like Dalton Castle. I don't like him as champion. It just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But he's popular. Everybody loves it when he comes out. It just doesn't feel...
It's odd. I like it when he's like suited up though, and like looks like a champion in a sense, but still him and his silliness.
The goofy promos and stuff.
That's him though. That's what got him to the dance.
Right. That's exactly why change what got you there.
But if you want to like, this. As much as I love this whole fucking gimmick and everything, it's fucking it can't be a forever gimmick either,
Well, but it's not a main event. It could be, but it's not a main event gimmick.
But right now it's at the point that
who the fuck am I to talk? He's in the main event.
They're at the point though where they're building their future. They're building their future, so he has to win this one. Make him a solid threat, kind of Jinder Mahal him a little bit for the next couple of months. Not in a bad way though. Like, you have faith in what you're trying to put out there.
My botch.
Joe, anything different from you predictions-wise?
Nah, it's the same. Like you said, I'd like to see Lethal get that title back. Make
Pat
a nice
Peacock, bitch.
I like Lethal's been coming out with them macho boots and stuff, and
he's been rocking those boots.
Man. But he just hasn't been getting what feels like a main event push.
And what got him that championship? Being a villain, being a heel. He held that championship for so long. We need that Jay Lethal back.
I don't mind. I wouldn't mind a babyface run from Jay Lethal though either. But I think we're going. It's got to be going Bullet Club's way eventually here. So certainly possibly back to Cody at some point. But again, I like the Marty Scurll story. So. All right, that's going to do it for the show this week. Let's wrap this thing up with the Kojima tweet.
Now it's time for the Satoshi Kojima Tweet of the Week.
So happy that Kojima's back on Twitter and active again, recovering from his knee surgery. You can follow Kojima at Cozy_Lariat, or just tune in to the podcast this week for the best of Kojima's tweets. Hello, wrestling fan. Knee injury is a shock, but I am starting workout. I want to fight soon. Therefore, I live more violently. Thank you. I will eat a lot of bread. No, that's going to do it this week. Again, follow the show at Strong Honor. Follow me at Tommy Stryker, spell Stryker with a Y. Make sure you check out our other podcast, The Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. We got Fastlane coming up this weekend. We'll talk about our Fastlane predictions as well as Monday Night Raw and everything going on, building up to the road to WrestleMania just right around the corner. So check that out. Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.com. Taco, where can people find you?
We really got that much wrestling to watch this weekend. You can follow me on Twitter at HGREV Taco.
You can follow me, Joe, at Joe BPWP. That's at Joe, Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks for checking out Strong Honor. Bye.
Adios.
Peace.
My botch.
You've got to use a few tricks up your sleeve, if you know what I mean, a bit of the old skullduggery.
Hasta jueves. Adios.